I took the job because it sounded easy. Too easy. The listing was vague. Night monitor needed. 4 hours. No experience required. Cash payment. The address led me to an office building on the edge of town, one of those places that looks abandoned but somehow still has electricity. The man who met me in the lobby didn't introduce himself. He was tall, thin, and smelled faintly of disinfectant. "You'll sit in room 417, he said, handing me a keycard. "From midnight to 4. Why am I monitoring?" I asked. He hesitated, just long enough for it to feel intentional. "The room," he said. I laughed, assuming it was a joke. He didn't. Before I could ask anything else, he added, "If the room speaks to you, don't respond." That should have been my sign to leave. But I needed the money. The elevator ride to the 4th floor was silent except for the hum of old machinery. No music, no floor indicator. Just a flickering fluorescent light that buzzed overhead. Room 417 was at the end of a long hallway. The door was metal. No window. No handle on the outside, only a keycard reader. Inside, the room was bare. No furniture. No windows. Just white walls, a white ceiling, and a single chair bolted to the floor in the center. A red digital clock hung above the door. 11:58 p.m. 2 minutes early. I sat down and checked my phone. No signal, no Wi-Fi. The air felt stale, like it hadn't been circulated in years. At exactly midnight, the door behind me locked. Loud. Final. The clock changed. 12 am. That's when the room breathed. Not air sound. A slow, deep inhale, as if the walls themselves were expanding. Then an exhale that made the floor vibrate beneath my feet. I stood up, heart pounding. "Hello?" I said before remembering the warning. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I sat back down, telling myself it was just the ventilation. Old buildings make noises. At 12:17, the lights dimmed. At 12:18, the room spoke. "Good evening," it said. The voice didn't come from one direction. It came from everywhere at once, flat, emotionless, and impossibly close. I froze. "You are the night monitor," the room continued. "Please remain seated." I didn't answer. The clock ticked louder now. Each second felt heavy, deliberate. "Your heart rate has increased," the room said. "This is normal." Cold sweat ran down my back. "How do you know that?" I whispered. The room went silent. Then softly, "You were instructed not to respond." My mouth snapped shut. The walls began to change, not visually, subtly. The white seemed less clean, like something was bleeding through from beneath the paint. Shadows appeared where there shouldn't have been corners. At 12:34, I heard footsteps. They circled the room, slow and measured, but the room had no doors other than the one behind me. No vents large enough for a person. The footsteps stopped directly in front of me. Something leaned close. I felt breath against my face. "Do you recognize this sound?" the room asked. It played audio. My voice laughing. Recorded. Familiar. Then my voice again, arguing, crying, saying things I never let anyone hear. My memories. "Stop," I said instinctively. The room exhaled sharply. "You responded," it said. The lights went out. Complete darkness. I couldn't see my hands. Couldn't see the clock. But I could still hear it ticking somewhere inside my head. Something touched my shoulder. Not a hand. More like pressure, like the idea of a hand pressing down. "You are not in danger," the room whispered. "You are being archived." Images flooded my mind. Moments from my life I hadn't thought about in years. Embarrassing ones, cruel ones. Regrets I'd buried. Each memory felt pulled out of me, examined, then stored away. I screamed. The lights snapped back on. The chair creaked beneath me. I was sitting again. I didn't remember sitting down. The clock read 1:52 a.m., almost 2 hours gone. "You are performing adequately," the room said. "I want to leave," I said, not caring anymore. "You may leave at 4, it replied. "If you remain yourself." My stomach dropped. "What does that mean?" The room didn't answer. Instead, the door behind me unlocked. Slowly. The handle turned. I stared at it, unable to move. A voice from the hallway called out, "Hey, are you done in there?" Relief hit me like a wave. "Yeah," I shouted. "I'm in here." The door opened. A man stepped inside. He looked exactly like me. Same face, same clothes, same terrified eyes. We stared at each other. The door slammed shut behind him. The clock reset. 12 a.m. The room spoke again, sounding pleased. "Correction," it said. "One of you may leave at 4. My double screamed. So did I. The lights flickered violently as the walls closed in, not physically, but perceptually. Like reality itself was narrowing. "Please remain seated," the room said calmly. The other me lunged for the door, slamming against it, begging, crying, saying my name. My name. The room turned to me. "Which one are you?" it asked. I opened my mouth. Nothing came out, because suddenly I wasn't sure. At 3:59 a.m., the door unlocked. The room spoke one final time. "Thank you for your contribution." The hallway light spilled inside. One of us stood up and walked out. The other remained seated. I don't know which one I am. But every night, when the clock hits midnight, I hear the room breathing. And it's still learning me.